Where do we go from here now that all of the children are growing up? Of course, it's a line from a pop song, but it is something that as a family at the Suburban Chateau, we are kind of dealing with right now. Both of our daughters this summer have moved away and are gainfully employed, and we're so excited for them, and have moved into new apartments and are on their way to success. But it means that a lot of things around our house are changing. And I'm going to start a whole new series here at the Suburban Chateau called The Empty Nester Whole House Renovation. Now, one thing I've probably never described on the Suburban Chateau is that we've been going through a little bit of a journey here at our home in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I had this great vision of finding a farmstead or a small farm that my husband Steve and I could teach classes in all kinds of heritage crafts. And we looked for all of those 5 years. We had a wonderful realtor who was so absolutely patient with us. We probably saw at least over 100 properties in person. We bid on 2 of those properties, and in both cases, it didn't work out. And at the time, especially with the second property we bid on, I did not understand what was going on. I didn't really see the bigger picture, but of course, the pandemic hit. And we realized that there was no way we would have been able to hold in-person classes, even if we had purchased one of those homes. So in a way, it was a blessing for us. And it kind of helped us to reevaluate what we really wanted to do with our skills. We were going to call our farmstead the Brigadoon Experience. And if you followed my channel, you might remember that I used to have a channel called the Brigadoon Experience, and I changed the title of it more to reflect what was going on, especially during the pandemic, which was things around our home in suburban Pennsylvania. And the Brigadoon Experience was going to focus on crafts that maybe were something from 100 years ago, but how could we use technology and the skills that we know to combine those skills and teach those skills to people? And we've had some in-person classes here at the house, and we call them the Brigadoon Experience, and especially relating to soap making and sugar scrubs and that kind of candle making, those kinds of things. And they were very successful. We just had a few events here at the house. But we could tell that with the pandemic, it really was affecting that in-person opportunity. Now, when we were about 5 years ago and getting this idea, we had been faithfully attending the Mother Earth News Fair at Seven Springs, which is not about an hour and a half from our house here, closer towards Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we would go to the Mother Earth News Fair, and we would always get these amazing ideas and sit in workshops with these amazing craftspeople that just taught us all kinds of things, especially about gardening. My husband started learning about aquaponics there. I learned a lot about like Bath and Body products and how to make those. We've attended a lot of cheese making sessions. My husband makes kombucha. All those things were things that we were learning from Mother Earth News. And that's a magazine that my husband had been reading and collecting for most of his adult life. So our idea was to teach some of these things, and even to bring in some other people that were experts in their field, and maybe they could teach a class on something. And we were hoping to find a property with a barn or someplace that we could actually have classes. And so, although I was very discouraged with how that worked out, my oldest daughter, who also has a YouTube channel, and you have seen her on my channel, she said, "Mom, why don't you really focus on the YouTube channel?" And she said this the summer before the pandemic, so that would have been 2019. And I just kind of pushed it off, and she was prophetic, obviously, that this would be the area that we could pursue. And I do teach video editing, so that's one of my skills in life as a teacher. And I just wasn't sure if that's the direction I wanted. I had this vision of a farm, and obviously there's a higher power that has a better plan for us. And so that's when I started to really dig in with the Suburban Chateau videos. So once the girls had moved out, I had this crazy idea that we do a whole house renovation. And for some of the rooms, it's just going to be a clean and a purge and a organizing. One of the rooms that we're going to work on is the music room here that's adjacent to where I'm sitting. And it just needs a really good tidy up. And just some more organization in that room, and so that it's functional for me. And that's my music room, and also where I edit my videos. But we're going to really concentrate on the girls' bedrooms as we renovate, and we're going to renovate our bedroom and just give it a little bit of a refresh. And the living room, obviously with new carpet, it's going to have a new color option for us. So I'm really excited to go on this adventure, and I'm glad to have you along with me. And so this is the Empty Nester Whole House Renovation, and this will be the first video in this series. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to just take you to each of the rooms, and I'm going to be like brutally honest with you right now. It's in quite a state. We just got back from vacation. The suitcase is still laying on the floor in the living room. So a lot of the areas are going to look particularly messy and unorganized, and but I have a plan, and I'm pretty excited about sharing it with you. Now here is the jump off point for our empty nester whole house renovation. And this is one of my daughter's bedrooms. And before I had children, it was also my closet. And so I was able to store my clothes in here and have a bit of a dressing room to myself. And then once my kids got old enough, they both needed separate rooms, and we moved my clothes, you'll see, downstairs in a basement craft room, and it was hard to manage that for a long time. So this is going to be a place that I can access my clothing. And anyone who knows me knows that I love clothes, I love shoes, I love purses. I'm a bit of a hoarder in that regard. So I have some really exciting plans for this room. And the daughter that's room is somebody who is really interested in vintage things. Both my girls are really interested in antiques, but this one especially likes the old antique things, and she's going to be my inspiration for this room. And I am planning, again, it's going to be a dressing room, but kind of a French theme a bit, but very much centered on the power of womanhood and female. And I just think that's so exciting. Tell you a little bit about what I have planned. On this wall in front of me is going to be a feature wall. So the first thing I'm going to do once I clean up in here a little bit is I'm going to paint that wall. And my idea is to strive for a dark blue-gray color. And if you keep watching this, I'm hopefully also going to get carpeting as part of this whole series. And I think I'm going to go with a dark blue-gray carpet. So it will be like a slate color maybe with a little bit of hint of blue. And then our artwork is going to be all about the female, the Harrison Fisher prints, Alfonso Mucha, prints by some of the artists that really were delving into female and feminine topics. On the far wall, or the right wall as you walk in, I have a linen closet, so I have to do some editing there. Always fun. And then I have a little purse rail right there, so I'm going to be putting some of my purses up there. And my vanity is going to go right here as well. So a vanity and a mirror. I have also a little sneak peek. I did purchase a little dresser a few weeks ago at a yard sale, and that's going to definitely be a part of this renovation. And I'm not exactly sure, but I'm thinking makeup and jewelry and smaller items for that dresser. So here is our jump off point. Room number 1 in its very, very raw state. But we're going to work on that. and fix it all up. And this will be our jump off for our empty nester whole house renovation. Now, this is room number 2 in our whole house renovation. I'm not sure this will be second in order, but this is my other daughter's room. And my intent for this one, literally, she moved out today. So it's still pretty rough looking. We ripped the sheets off the bed this morning and walked out. And there's my shoes on the floor still from just getting back. So this room, my intent for it is going to be a guest room. And that guest room is going to, I think I'm going to really feature, I have a lot of beautiful needlepoint artwork, and I think I'm going to feature that in this room. The wall to the right of the mattress is going to be our feature wall in this one, not the wall with the window. It's going to be a little bit different focal point. And then that whole bed's going to move over to the left. And I have sort of a color scheme in mind. Again, the carpeting is going to change. This one's going to need the ceiling repainted, the walls all repainted, lots of work, and there's a lot of patching to do in this room as well. Now, our bedroom here I show in our holiday look has always been chock full of furniture. And because we have a little more space now, I'm able to move some of the furniture around and put it in different places. And especially with the dressing room next door, I'm able to move a few things. As you have seen in my other videos, I'm always using florals. I have floral wallpaper border that I'm super attached to that probably needs updating. My look is very 90s and flowers. And of course I change it for the seasons, and I'm hesitant. I know it needs new carpeting. Probably our bedroom carpet is in the worst shape of the whole house. So it's time to update. It's just hard for me to let go of some of those things and update. I still love florals. I'm always going to love florals, but this is going to need a little bit of work. So here is the storage portion of this back room, which is going to be my music room and everything when the dust settles. And I'm being as honest as I can. This is not cleaned up yet, but what I'm planning to do is move quite a few of my music books to the large file cabinet that I brought in. I have quite a lot of music books and compilations that I put together for some of my ensembles that I play with. And I really think they are not so pretty to display. I love to change these shelves into something that is a little bit easier on the eye. So we're going to move those to the bottom shelf or the bottom drawer in the new file cabinet. Now here is my office space, sort of tucked in the corner of this music room. I'm already very happy with my feature wall that sometimes you see in my videos behind me. And it's really displaying. I have quite a lot of some folk instruments there. I love those little pink shelves. And I'm very happy with that wall. So it's going to remain the same, but my office needs a little bit of work. The chair in the front will be going back to my boudoir. So when you watch the boudoir episode, you'll get to see that moving to a new place. And I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with the table. I have some ideas about how I can use that more efficiently. But it has organization if I keep to it. This is the reality of my desk area. I really need to go through and work on decluttering, getting rid of some of those papers. You'll see music. There probably are things I need to throw away. My desk cycle is back there. I just need to organize a little bit better back here. A little bit, listen to me. And I have a computer that I need to
to do something with. And it's an old computer, and I just like have an attachment to my secondary computer, and I do not use it. It needs to go by. But that takes a little bit of thought. And how do we dispose of that properly and correctly? So I might want to still use it for something. I don't know. I'm trying to get through that process. And it stopped me. It stopped me right here. This has stopped me from going forward. And I need some inspiration. I'd like to keep the carpet. Yep, there's a carpet under there because it just sort of helps to tie the space together.
Now, if you've seen my channel before, you know that the living room is sort of the hub of our home. And I decorate for different seasons. Obviously, holiday. I've done fall decorating. I've done Easter decorating. I've done Valentine's decorating. And for summer, I've changed the look of everything. So it's a room that's in constant flux. It always changes with what's ever going on. If we do change the color of the carpeting, right now it's that deep, deep burgundy, which I love. And I'm really trying to wrap my mind around a different color. But it's definitely worn, and I'm having trouble getting it clean when I do clean the carpet. So it's time to change. One of the things you'll notice too when we go to redo this room is that the couch on the left there is no longer in our house. So we gave that to Sarah, our daughter, to take with her new apartment. And so now I only have to focus on one couch, and I have to worry about one couch, which will make things a little bit easier. And it's going to give me a few more options in that room. So we're going to strike the living room. Obviously, these are very tidied up videos of the living room, but I'm really looking forward to doing something a little bit different and changing things up in the living room. Thank you so much for joining me on our Empty Nester Whole House renovation series. Next week, we're going to start with the dressing room, get it all prepped, get it painted, and get things started. And I can't wait to share everything with you. Thanks so much for visiting us at the Suburban Chateau.